Hey guys, what's going on? Rect here from Tactic Gaming, bringing you the third episode of my Arsenal career mode. Now, in the background and in the gameplay, I'm just showing you all the stats and the league standings and everything like that, because for some reason my save did in fact delete for some reason, and now I have gone through and made all the transfers that we did make in the previous episodes, and have emulated the same scores and the same scores of those games that we did play. So you'll see that we still have Griezmann on 3 goals in the Premier League and everything like that, but all the other teams' top scores are different and the play ratings are a bit different. As you can see here, we're going to go through the squad report just to show you, like, Hector Bellerin is not 75 rated yet, and he was 75 rated in the last episode, I believe. And you can also see when we were going through the squad report that we did have Sanchez and Griezmann. Now, we used the the transfers in the options menu of FIFA to transfer them in and out. So I used customized squads, which means that we couldn't download the latest updates for this save, so players like Kevin De Bruyne will still be at Wolfsburg, and Heung-min Son will still be at Bayer Leverkusen. And we also didn't loan out the players that we did loan out in the last few episodes, so they'll still be at the club. But I'm just showing you all the stats and everything that that you need to see just to be caught up on what's been happening. And I'll show you the objectives, and we're expected to win the domestic cup, win the league, and reach the final in the Champions League, whereas we would only have to win the or we would have to go up to the semifinals of the Champions League in my other save. But anyway, enough of that. Let's hop into the first game of the episode against Newcastle United, and they've got Cisse, Wijnaldum, Gouffran, Tovin, Tim Krul, and it's a good lineup, but obviously not as strong as ours. We still have the front three of Royce, Sanchez, and Griezmann, who are killing it for us at the moment. Now here, in this game, we're only going to show you the goals just because it is a smaller game and I want to get through the season as fast as possible. And speaking of goals, Alexis Sanchez is put through onto it and he slots it right into the top corner with an amazing finesse shot. It was well placed by Sanchez and just a great finish. Now the next opportunity, or the next clip of the match, comes from Ozil, who picks it up in the midfield, plays it out towards Cazorla, and Cazorla plays a ball threading through the defense, and Griezmann slots it into the top right corner. Almost the same goal as Alexis Sanchez, except using the left foot instead of the right foot, and no finesse shot, but it was still a great goal. And now here we speed up the gameplay as it is kind of shaky at the back for Arsenal, and they eventually do find Mbemba at the outside of the box, and we couldn't get a foot in, and he just smacks it right into the top left corner. Probably the goal of the game for me, and I did not expect that from Newcastle center back, let alone, or I wouldn't expect that from a Newcastle striker, let alone a Newcastle center back. And that's how the game does finish at 2-1, and I believe the next game that we have is up against Stoke City in the Premier League. Oh no, sorry, we have to go through deadline day first. There wasn't much action in deadline day. We only got a bid of 9 million from for David Ospina from Los Lille, and we counted offered 20 million, and they came back and said 10.5, and we just flat out rejected it. And then we hop into a simulated match in the Barclays Premier League at home against Stoke City, and you can see the lineup there, and I believe we do win this game 2-1. Royce picking up a goal in the 24th minute, and Welbeck and Van Ginkel picking up the last two, along with Mertesacker picking up a red card, so he's not available for the next Barclays Premier League game. Now we're going to hop into our first Champions League match of the series, and it's against Bayer Leverkusen at their stadium in Germany. Now, I believe we do show you the group that we're in. Yeah, here we have Barcelona, Arsenal, Shakhtar, and Bayer Leverkusen, obviously, and that's just a really strong group. And I'd be happy with coming up second in the group. Obviously, Barcelona being the strongest team there. We actually did just lose to Barcelona yet again, 3-1 in the Champions League, knocking us out in real life. I'm talking about here. So I'm kind of disappointed in that, but you know, it's kind of a expected result, really. El Nene picking up, or El Nini picking up his first goal for Arsenal. Now, we do hop into this game here, and the first chance falls to Hakan Çalhanoğlu from the edge of the box, and it was a really good save by Cech. And now Gibbs, the most unlikely of dribblers, plays Alexis Sanchez through on goal, and he just swerves past the defense and scores another finesse shot right into the top right corner. And it was just a great goal. You can see how he just goes past all the defenders using only his right foot, and his movement is just so great there that he can just get past the goal. Now Antoine Griezmann is played through, still has some defenders on him though, so he's out on the wing, tries to get it past the defender who blocks it and picks it, and Griezmann is able to pick it back up, has a shot at goal, and then it deflects and comes back to Griezmann, who really should have put that away, but Leno with a great save. And now the next chance of the game does fall to Arsenal as Alexis Sanchez picks up the ball, plays it in towards Royce again, who has a smack with his left foot, and it just goes wide of the post, which was really unlucky. Now Royce is played through again here, and it does hit the post, and it was absolute shambles by Leverkusen at the back between their goalie and the defender. And that's how the game does end. Not the most eventful of games, only a 1-0 victory to Arsenal, and you can see the stats there, nothing really going on. And then we hop into the third game of the episode, up against Chelsea here, away from home, at Stamford Bridge in the Barclays Premier League. And you could see my lineup there. And I didn't show you Chelsea's lineup, and I was just wondering if you guys did mind if I didn't show the lineups. I don't know if that's something that you guys want to see, but I don't know how that wasn't a foul by the Chelsea defender in the box. We would have had a penalty for that, but Alexis Sanchez does in fact go off injured, leading us to bringing on Oxlade-Chamberlain. And speaking of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Mesut Ozil plays him through here. A good turn inside, he has a shot at goal, but I believe the Chelsea defender does block it, and I think that's Jerome Boateng, I'm not really too sure. And now the next chance of the game does fall to Chelsea as Ramirez plays in Nemanja Matic, who plays in Loic Remy, who then has a shot at goal, but Cech, a former legend of Chelsea, does in fact save the shot. And now the next chance of the game sees Royce with some really good dribbling skills, but just doesn't manage to get the shot away. Now Loic Remy does in fact go towards goal, and I speed up the gameplay just to show you that this clip does in fact come right after the other one. And Ramirez gets played in, and he's point blank with the keeper there, and he still doesn't manage to get the shot on target. And now we had a Royce, a free kick that was played towards Royce, and he just hits the post again. Really unlucky from Royce today in this episode, and this is how the game is going to end at 0-0. Again, not a great result, and we see Alexis Sanchez is out for 8 weeks, so that was really heartbreaking for me. But we will have Oxlade-Chamberlain playing instead of him, which I don't mind. Now Hector Bellerin does go up to a 75 rated, as he was before in the last save, and we do hop in to a game in the Capital One Cup against West Brom, and I believe we win this 2-1 with Bellerin, Ozil, and McLean picking up the goals, and Leicester City. And then we go into a match against Leicester City in the Barclays Premier League away from home. The goal coming from Arteta from a penalty. And I'm just showing you guys the league standings here and the Champions League group stage. Barcelona did in fact draw their game against Shakhtar, which I found kind of surprising. And speaking of Shakhtar, we do hop into this game against Shakhtar. I don't know how many times I said Shakhtar there, but probably a lot. Now Griezmann going through on goal, and he does in fact get blocked here, and Ramsey wins a header from the midfield. Cazorla plays in Oxlade, who plays Griezmann, who does turn inside yet again, turns again, and just can't manage to get the shot away. Now the next chance of the game does come from Cerna, as he just keeps going through and keeps turning our men, and then he outmuscles Royce there and has a good shot at goal, but Cech making another good save. I would have expected that from him. Cazorla now plays an over-the-top through ball towards Marco Royce, who has a defender on him, but he turns inside yet again and finds Mesut Ozil on the other side of the goal, and he plays it towards him and he finishes it. So most of you guys would call that sweaty. I'll call that clinical, just because it wasn't against me. And Cerna does stand over the free kick that Shakhtar does win, and he places it into the top right corner, but Cech does make a really good save. Cech, probably the player of the episode for me here. Now Royce does find Griezmann, who finds Oxlade, and then back to Royce, and somehow Griezmann manages to cross that, and good composure from Oxlade-Chamberlain to chest it down and finesse it into the top right corner. Pretty much exactly what Sanchez has been doing this episode, and it just it's hard to miss Sanchez, just because Oxlade has been a really good player for me, and he is a really good player in the game, but obviously, he still missed Sanchez just because he is Alexis Sanchez. Now the next opportunity does come to Shakhtar, as Fred crosses it in, and it comes back to them here on the outside of the box, and they get a good shot away, but Cech with another great save. Now Griezmann stands over the free kick in the 90th minute, and it gets blocked by the wall, and that's how the game does end at a 2-0 for Arsenal. Now, this is where Bellerin goes up to 76 rated, and Gabriel did go up to an 80 rated before. That's where I was mistaken. Now, if you guys did enjoy the episode, please be sure to like and subscribe, and in the next episode we will be playing against Manchester United, so I'll see you guys then.